Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's video I'd like to look at in particular the NQ and how it unfolded yesterday, which was March the 13th, Wednesday. So let's have a quick look and see how standard or new MTPredictor users would have got on yesterday. Remember, standard or new MTPredictor users look at the STF color, which is our indicator down here, for an indication of the large degree trend. So blue for up, red for down, black for flat. We do this because it's an easy color coded indicator to follow. So you take the trade setups that are in the direction of this color. Remember, we have historical signals here, so if a trade has been stopped out, you can then place the analysis on and see what happened. So let's take a look at this first potential trade here. We hover the mouse over the bar, right mouse click and do analysis. You can see this would have just resulted in a short trade, valid because the STF was red, therefore downtrend, would have just stopped you out by one tick, slightly frustrating, but this does happen in trading. Remember, we use correct position sizing to vary our number of lots, contracts or shares to keep our initial risk small and under control. In this case, less than 2% of a sample $20,000 account. So this would have been a valid trade, which would have resulted in a -1R loss. Next trade here was a buy. STF was black, therefore it was a valid trade setup because black means a flat trend, therefore buys or sells. Market goes up into the first target here. And we then look at our STF strength band, which is our grey line there. And if the STF is less than the strength band, it's what we call weak. In other words, we come out of the WPT target. If it had been beyond the strength band, we'd have then traded with our ATR stop, which is our red and blue dots. This wasn't the case in this example. So the result of this trade would have been out of the first target, and here you can see the true power of position sizing because the profit would have been plus 5R. In other words, 5 times the initial risk. We'll see how important that is in a minute. This potential sell here would have been against a blue STF, therefore would have been avoided. This potential sell here would have been against a blue STF, therefore would have been avoided. We had another history triangle here, was a potential buy setup, as again we can place the analysis on. This was on a blue STF, therefore would have been taken. The result was a -1R trade. We can see this would have been taken in here, then stopped out for a -1R loss. The TS2 sell at the end was valid, but would have been basically break even, so I won't include that in our calculations. So what was the result for standard traders? Well, the standard traders would have had one short trade here for, as we've seen, a -1R loss, one profitable trade here for, as we've already seen, a plus 5R profit, then another losing trade here for a -1R loss. Now this shows the true power of position sizing, because here you'd have had 2 losing trades and 1 profitable trade. In other words, more losses than winners, but the correct position sizing would have made money overall. Because it was a -1R loss, a -1R loss, a plus 5R profit, which means the standard trader would have made plus 3R profit overall on the day. So a very, very good result. Now let's up it a gear and see what advanced traders could do with this. And this shows the true power of the software. Any technical analysis indicator is lagging because it's worked on prior history, therefore will always turn late after the market actually turns itself. You can see here the STF didn't go blue until way after this low here. So is there anything we can do to, in particular, anticipate these turns in advance? Because that's what we need to do for advanced traders. Yes, there is. For advanced traders, we go to the larger degree chart, in this case the 15-minute. Whoops, I'll just zoom out there. And this is a very interesting example because I was talking about this in our live training webinar for MTPredictor customers yesterday. So the first thing we had on our chart was we went back to the prior pivot low, which was here. We placed a DP on, and that gave us a level down there. We used the standard MTPredictor, NinjaTrader drawing tools to put a rectangle about this to extend it out a bit further, and as you can see, that nailed the very low of the day yesterday. But what's interesting for me is that as the market was rallying up, our webinar finished about this particular level here. I was saying that the next level of resistance was not until the DP off this high here. If we now place a rectangle around that to extend it out a bit, keeping the levels the same, can you see here how powerful this is? Because this gave a potential resistance area, and more importantly, this resistance area was on the chart literally hours before the market even got there. And as you can see, the NQ went up, and that nailed the very high of the day for you. So let's go down to the 3-minute chart and see how that would have helped us. Well, first and foremost, the obvious thing is that these DP levels, first of all, nailed the very low of the day for you, and secondly, nailed the very high of the day for you. Very, very nice situation to be in. And remember, these were on the chart in advance before the market even got there, so you're prepared for these levels well in advance. So what does this mean for the large degree trend? Well, because the market was coming off major support and going up, the large degree trend would be deemed up from here up into this zone here. So therefore you'd have avoided this first short trade because it was against the large degree uptrend. Advanced users would have taken this long trade because this was in the direction of the larger degree uptrend. Remember, we're going from the 15-minute DP up to the 15-minute DP. So traders would have had, advanced traders would have had a nice plus 5-hour profit, just like the standard traders. Then, as this was a larger degree resistance area, the market was then declining off this larger degree resistance area, therefore the trend was now down off this high. Because the trend was down, you would have avoided this buy setup. So instantly, for advanced traders, they'd have avoided this losing trade, they would have avoided this losing trade, and had one very nice profitable trade in the middle. So instantly, whoops, didn't mean to do that, sorry about that. Instantly, it would have helped your bottom line by avoiding the 2 minus 1 hour losses and just keeping your plus 5 hour profit in the middle. Very, very good result. Was there anything else the advanced traders can do? Well, because we knew the market was coming up here into large degree resistance, again this was on our chart in advance, so we were prepared for it. Let's have a look at the pattern, the Elliott wave pattern going up into this high. If I right mouse click over the high, do Elliott wave intermediate, you can see that the MTPredictor software program found a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not a very pretty looking 5-wave count, I will admit, but nevertheless a valid 5-wave count. More importantly, the high here was right at the minimum wave 5 WPT. This coincided with our larger degree resistance. Therefore, advanced traders would have been able to consider a short trade of this pattern here. A target of a 5-wave sequence is the DP of the prior wave 4, which was down here. If I place the manual risk reward on here, now you can see that you would have been short off what would have been the high of the day, or the bar of the high of the day, down into this first target. That would have added another 3-hour profit. So advanced traders would have suddenly had a plus 5R going up into here, then a plus 3R going down there. So very, very good result indeed. Traders could also, or traders who use the MTP RT add-ons for NinjaTrader 7, which is what we're using here, can also make use of the trade module as an additional add-on module, which we have here, and this would help you place and manage the trades. So if I just take this all off here, remember we were looking to do a short trade off the top here. In fact, I'll do the one on the TS1 to start with. The beauty of the trade management here is when you place the analysis on, instantly the trade is placed into your the trade module here with the number of contracts you can see is automatically placed in, the entry level, stop level, and also your target level, and it allows you to place these trades really, really quickly and then manages them for you. So this can be used for not only the automatic trade setups as we have here, but remember we had another potential short trade off the high. So when you do the risk reward analysis, as you can see here, when I place the risk reward analysis on the chart here, you can see that also these values are then placed into the trade module as well. And this allows you to not only place the trades with the correct position sizing very, very quickly indeed, but also to do the trade management for you as well. So a very, very good additional feature for the users of the MTPRT add-ons for NinjaTrader 7. So that's very good to consider. But just to sum up, on the NQ yesterday. For standard traders, it would have been a good day because we would have had a -1 hour loss, a -1 hour loss, then a +5 hour profit. But for advanced traders, and this shows the true power of the MTPredictor software program, where we then look to use the DPs on the higher time frame, in this case the 15-minute chart, allowed us to project in advance the support and resistance areas, which in this particular example nailed the low and high of the day yesterday. That then allowed us to define the large degree trend, which helped in our standard MTPredictor trade setups, but it also allowed us to catch a manual Elliott wave pattern going to the high to do an additional short trade off there for another 3-hour profit. So for the advanced MTPredictor users among you, it would have been an extremely good day of potentially +5-hour profit, +3-hour profit, so +8-hour profit for the day is a very, very good result indeed. So this is, I hope, has been a good video to show you the tools and the power of the MTPredictor software program.